So you know how you're so excited you had to just like you wanted to just breathe. Like today is that day I wanted to just breathe. I didn't want to go to the court. I didn't want to do a lot of things. So I just said, yeah, let's just take out all of these plenty activities and just breathe. You get so. Well, I mean, I'm like, let's have this live session in the morning and let's see how that goes. Usually we have a live session in the evenings on Saturday evenings, but I felt to do something interesting today, and that was because I shared something very insightful on Instagram during the week. But first off, how was your week? How did it go? Hope it was productive. Hope you were able to, get some things done. You see how crazy the week runs so fast. Like it felt like yesterday. It felt like the last time we had a live session was just yesterday, and now we're like already in another Saturday, and next tomorrow is Monday again. Like next tomorrow is Monday. Oh my god, I know some people don't like to hear that, but that's the reality. How has our week been? How has the month of February? Sorry, the month of March been? I like February so much. Mm. So yes, I was talking about where I shared something very interesting, something very insightful, something you should think about on Instagram, and I thought to bring it on here on YouTube. And one of the things that I shared on Instagram is a reality I have been experiencing but I have not paid attention to. And I know a lot of people may probably not have paid attention to it. And this is it. Have you ever discovered, or we all know, first of all, that businesses are built in such a way that they are targeted towards a particular kind of audience. So let's say you have a product, you want to bring it to the market. It means that there is an audience you should have in mind that needs that product, or that product is going to help. That way you're able to know what to do with the product. You're able to know the problem the product is supposed to solve, right? Now, it also shows you that you cannot, like, there are businesses you cannot put in a particular location because they are not your target audience. It shows you that there are some kind of businesses you cannot venture into in a kind of location because the audience in that location are not your target audience. And one of those which I have noticed is Bet Ninja, betting shops. I keep saying Bet Ninja because that's the popular one we know about, and betting shops, Bet Nigeria, Bet Ninja, whatever it is. Betting shops. Have you ever noticed that you will not find it in some areas? Do you know how I got to come about this reality? A friend of mine sent a video to me, a video of Abuja to me. And I was not like I was shocked because every location has its own ghetto area. Every location has its ghetto area. And as someone who grew up in Lagos, I know what ghetto feels like. I know what ghetto is. Look like, not feel like, because I don't know. I know what ghetto looks like. So I saw this video, and the crazy thing is the kind of location it was looking like some very conk location in Lagos, but it's Abuja. And it dawned on me that everybody is living in Abuja, but not everybody is saying Abuja. Oh. And then I also realized that the location where I stay, location where I visit often, there are some things I don't see there. There are some kind of people I don't see there. Those kind of people I don't see them there. And there's some kind of businesses I don't see in this location. And one of which is betting shops. You see in those locations, you will see a very young person smoking because that's the reality they've been exposed to. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm talking about business here. Before some people come at me and tell me that I'm laughing at their predicament. That's not what we're talking about, please. Okay. So you see that some of these people are already exposed to smoking, they're already exposed to hard drugs, they're already exposed to a lot of crazy things. And that's because that is so I got a call. I forgot to put my phone on do not disturb. I don't know if you can all hear me. Yeah, I got a call, so I had to drop that. So because that's the reality that a lot of them they've been open today, like they've been open or exposed to realities of this kind of lives, and it's not something that some other kids are conversant with. It's just like taking your children to some kind of schools. It exposes them to a kind of classmates, right? Just like people that will say, "Oh, the school is so expensive." Sometimes you don't pay for those school fees because it's expensive, because of the people they're exposed to. You see your child that is born in an Igbo Father is Igbo, mother is Igbo. None of them has any accent, no any foreign accent. But you send your child to school and they come back with an accent, and you're like, what is going on? Because of where they're exposed to. Do you understand? So now let that bring me back to what I'm saying. Now this helps you to see that there are some businesses that cannot be introduced to a location because of the kind of audience. You cannot bring or you cannot see a betting shop in some locations. You can't see it in Wuye, you can't see it in Asokoro, you can't see it in Buzape, you can't see it in Maitama. What's betting shop doing in Maitama? I mean, the people that live there they are not betting. They don't need to walk into a store. Some of them have betting apps on their phone, right? Now, but these local bets, you can't see those shops or those kiosks in these locations. Some people say yes because they cannot afford the they cannot afford the price of the rent. You can't. There's not even space for you to keep your kiosks in. Like when the area was planned, you were not in the plan. You're not in the plan. Now, this shows you that the wealthy people have the way they live, and the poor people have the way they live. These betting shops are targeted towards the poor and the average. The people you know that the people that you know that they like to take chances on things. So you see a lot of people, they like to take chances, they like to assume, they like to bet, they like to gamble, they like to just hope. Do you know that people has brought this reality, these things into real estate? They thought real estate is bet. You put 1 naira, don't worry, sure odd is going to come out. Don't ask me how I've just heard that. I don't even know what it means. Sure odd, 2 odd, 2 odd. It's going to come out. It's going to come out well. And then you see them bring this kind of mindset into real estate. You come into real estate and you're trying to do sure odds, like 2 sure odds. You're trying to put your money into a property and you're hoping that this property is going to bring money to you or it's going to help you make money. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Real estate is not gamble. I've said this thing like too many times. In fact, if you've come to my live session once or twice, you would have heard me say this thing. Real estate is not gamble. Real estate is accessible to everybody, but it's not making everybody a billionaire. Have you not asked yourself why? Real estate is accessible to almost everybody, but not everybody can become a billionaire with real estate because it is not the thing that makes you wealthy. It is what you know to do with the thing that makes you wealthy. It is not the thing that makes you wealthy. It is what you know to do with the thing. Now we have a lot of we have food industries. We have so many industries that make people wealthy. And these industries are very saturated. You know, when you get into an industry, you say, it's saturated. It's because that's what you're seeing. You get into the fashion industry, you see it's also saturated. You come into real estate, you see it's also saturated. It is because it is not that thing that makes you wealthy. It is what you know to do with it. What are you doing with the product you have in hand? What are you doing with the investment you have at hand? What are you doing with it? Somebody in the fashion industry, what are you doing with your skill? How are you putting yourself out there? What do you do differently that is different from other people? Because we always have the crowd. In every sector, there's always the crowd. So are you part of the crowd that is doing what every other person is doing and complain that they are not having a result? Where are you? Are you part of people that just hopes that this thing they are doing, hopefully, like, I just say hopefully, this thing they're doing will one day, and they hope that one day to make them wealthy? That's not how it works. Now, you hear some people, people will always say, "Oh, please, this real estate thing, how does it work?" And then you tell them how it works, and you're like, "Oh, I can't wait for that long." And you know what I've realized? Gamblers, you know how gamble works. You put money and then just wait for a period of time, and then for maybe a few days, and then you check. You've already won the money. People thought that's how it is in real estate. In fact, I've even gotten calls from people that will say, "Oh, if I sell this property, if I buy this property now, can I sell it? Can I sell it like times 2 the price next month?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? This is not gamble. This is investment. Investment means that you're willing to take the risks of waiting. You put your money, your capital, take the risks of putting in your capital. You understand, and then you understand the risks of waiting and why you're waiting. It shows you that people don't even know why they invest in the first place. All of this shows you that people don't know why they invest. They just feel like investing should help them multiply. It is true, investment multiplies money for you. It is very true that investment multiplies money. But how do you go about it? Do you go about it as someone who understands investment and sees it as a tool to help them build their money, build wealth, and then it can then multiply the money? Or do you see it as a tool that you can use to just multiply your money? You see it as MMM. It's not MMM. It's not money making machine. It's not money making machine. It's something that should help you build. That means it's going to take some time. Now, not every real estate investment takes the same time. This is where knowledge comes to play. Not every real estate investment takes the same time. So it means that if you're going to get into an investment, you need to understand what you're getting yourself into. Funny enough, that all of this thing I've said is to say something. A lot of people don't invest because they don't know why they're investing. And you hear people say, oh, if you're going to invest in this one is going before you when you wait for a period of time, your money will grow, your money will multiply by 5. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? You need to understand why you're investing. Are you investing so that you can get your money to go by a period of time? Are you investing so that you can probably build capital gain or cash flow? Now, this particular live session is for those that always complain that they don't have money to invest, they don't have money to invest. Do you know the crazy thing? The crazy thing is that first of all, to invest, you need capital. You need capital. Now people say, how do I don't have capital. How much am I making? I need to have capital. Do you know that you can actually build capital? You can save and build capital. Now, this is not for all these motivational speakers that are telling you, oh, savings cannot save you. Savings, see, it is relative. Savings can actually save you. Do you know the problem? The problem is when you are saving, you don't have any plan, you're just saving. That's where the problem is. In real estate, we call it building equity. You can build equity from saving. One of the ways you can build equity is through savings. It means that the current money you have, you can build up from there. It means that the current income you have, you can grow it. It means that the current money you have, inherent in that money that you currently are earning, is your next investment seed. But you know the problem? People would rather eat everything. Yes, I know the economy of Nigeria is crazy. It's crazy, yes. It has always been crazy. And it will continue to be crazy. This is not prophecy of doom, but that's the reality. In fact, since you were born and now that you're getting old, have you ever heard that they said, oh, this economy is the best? In fact, we are always tracing that we're always missing the good old days. We're always hoping that, oh, I miss all those days where. So it means that today that you say things are expensive, a time will come when you actually say that that there was a time like this that we could buy fuel for this amount, we could buy fuel for this. Like today is another good old days that we'll probably miss in the future. That's what it means. That today is another good old days that we're going to miss in the future. So what can you do? One question that I always say to help people understand where they are in is, have you ever sat down to ask yourself, how much real estate am I trying to build, and how long is it going to take me to build it? How much real estate portfolio are you trying to build? Because the truth is, if you're going to ever be wealthy, if you're going to have a sustainable income, you need to use real estate as a good tool, as a tool. It's not real estate that is an investment tool for you to build wealth, but it is something that is sustainable, that has been proven over and over again to outpass every other investment. It is sustainable, it is through and through, it has proven itself to be something that can be trusted. Like, it's not fluctuating, it always grows. It's just that the growth is always different. It's at different pace. Different real estate investment has different pace. But the funny thing is that we are all used to one particular kind of investment. Buy land and then wait for your money to grow. That's what we're used to. A lot of people are not exposed to capital to cash flow. We only know about capital gain. Capital gain is leaving your money in an investment for a period of time and then watch it grow over time. That means you have capital gain. The money you have, the money that you invested and the money you make, that's the difference. The profit you get from the money you invested is the capital gain, right? Now, but for cash flow, you put it into something that is bringing money every day. That means you invested a particular amount of money and it is providing a service. It is meeting a need. That need it is meeting is what is now bringing in the money back to you. So that is cash flow. A lot of us are locked into capital gain instead. Now, for you to build equity, first of all, you must understand that it is supposed to be a lifelong commitment. Do you know why people don't invest? Because they see investment as something they can do whenever they have money. Whenever big money comes, okay, let's just put money in real estate in case. I made a video. I talked about a popular Nigerian businessman, Femi Otedola, selling about 184 of his apartments to save his own business. And when I was reading up, when I was reading that up, I was blown away. I'm like, okay, this man was building something. He did not pray that his business was going to fail, but he was building something intentionally. And that saved his business. That was one of the, imagine he didn't have all of those. Imagine he didn't have those streams. How was he going to save his business? That means he's going to lose both his past and future. So eating the money, eating everything that comes into your hand means that you're eating your present and your future. That's what it means. It means that you're eating what you currently have, and you're eating what's like you're eating the 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 thing you are supposed to have. Literally, you're eating the future finance you're supposed to build. That's what it means. So eating up everything you have, everything that comes into your pocket every single month, eating up every single thing is where the problem is. Now, when you want to build equity, it works by when money comes into your hand, you put out a particular amount of money, dedicate it to a particular goal. Now, you see people want to save, they want to buy a car, they save money to buy a car. It is good to buy a car, but you can use that same commitment to build something that will change your life forever. Especially as a young person, you can build equity from what you're currently earning. Save this money. Now, there are going to be sacrifices you have to make because you cannot build equity and then you're still buying everything you need to buy. You have at some point you have to actually build. At some point you have to make some sacrifices. There's someone that don't need to make any sacrifice, just need to put money aside every single month consistently. And now this means that when you're putting all this money aside consistently, there's some things you can no longer do. There's some there's some activities you can no longer participate in. You need to now be actively in the market. You need to now be looking out for investment opportunities that aligns with your goal. You need to now start looking at, okay, if I invest in so this thing, how much am I going to put together? How much am I going to put together? And then how long am I going to spread my payments? How long is it going to take me to save this amount of money to put in this investment? And if I'm going to use payment plan, how long is it going to take me to finish up the payments? So this means that you have to be on the lookout for something that aligns with your goal. That's what it means. But a lot of people are not ready to do that. They just want wuru to the answer. They just want wuru to the answer. They just want something that will give them money sharp, sharp, and then they are they are seeing a billion in their accounts. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Real estate changes lives. And if you want it to change your life, you need knowledge. You need knowledge. Like I said, you can't see some kind of business in some kind of location. It means that you on your own, you have to actively look at what is going on in the market, like what is going on in the market, so much so that in the next few years it's going to benefit me. Those locations where you have all those better Nigerian shop, I just hope you're not the target audience, right? So you need to start looking out for what you must do. How do the wealthy people build wealth? They have investment streams. I even made an example on Instagram. I said it's just like for someone that is in a relationship. You're in a relationship with someone who is probably not somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with. You treat the money they give you treat them like maga. You know how Yahoo Boys treats magas. You spend everything. You want them to spend all their money on frivolities. You want them to just do anything. But when you are in a commitment with someone that you know you want to build your life with, you are more intentional with how they spend. That is how it looks like when you're ready to invest. When your money comes into your hand, you don't spend it anyhow. You're now more intentional. You bring out a particular percentage, a 30%, a 20% out of the money that comes into your account every month. You put it out as an investment. You build that money up. You talk with a consultant, a real estate person, a real estate consultant, or a realtor. You speak with them. Okay, what options do you have in the market? Where can I invest in and I can spread my payments because I earn this amount of money, and how can I spread my payments? What kind of investment do you think I can do as someone who earns um, within this range of amount or within this range of amount in a month? And they can give you suggestion. Before you know, because you have pulled out that money you saved, you pull it out and put it into a cash flow stream, your income has increased. While you're doing what you're doing, while you're still putting your money in cash flow systems or in capital appreciation systems, you still have your job, you still have the work you're doing, you still have that. And the time would come when you can now decide to leave the job and then explore into other businesses you want to. You can even buy a business if you want to from the money that you made in real estate. But we always assume that real estate is magic. We just wake up one morning and boom, we are now billionaires, we're now billionaires. It doesn't work like that. You can't just become a billionaire from nothing. You need capital. So how do you build capital? That's what I'm talking about. How do you build capital? How do you build equity from what you already have? By saving. That's one of the ways you can build equity. Saving. Savings can actually save you. If you put that money into something that works, something that is actually working, something that is going to bring or produce for you tomorrow, you can build your capital from there. In fact, this time around, you're not saving anymore because you want to just save. You're saving because you have a commitment. That commitment even exposes your mind to other ideas on how you can even increase your income. If you're someone that is staying abroad and you can have extra hours or shifts to make more money, you will see that you find yourself having extra, like doing extra hours of shifts, not because you want to now survive, but because you are building something. Now you're doing it intentionally and you're even doing it happily because you know that, oh, by the time I'm able to build this equity and put it into something very important, something that can change your entire life, something that can like change the trajectory of your finance, your life will change from what it currently is to something else. When people save up money, I personally have saved up money and bought a property. Bought that property, sold the property, used the gain from the property, and used the money extra from that money, put it on that property. So I'm not telling you what I'm not doing. This is something that works. If you keep putting your money in something that you know that, okay, let me just put my money and then let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes is not a strategy. That is why I say it's important to have knowledge of what you're doing. Why are you doing what you're doing? This market you're putting your money or investment in. What's the potential of the market you're putting your money in? You don't just buy anything you see in the market. You don't buy any random property you see in the market because, oh, everybody's buying it. You are investing your time into understanding what's going on in the market, and you're investing your money into something that you know that would work. Now you are not a consultant and you are not a realtor who is active in the market, but you can work with one. You can talk to somebody who is active in the market and ask them how you can go about this. Building equity is starting from where you are. Start from where you are. We are used to looking at where, like, we're used to looking at where we are not. Like, you will be where you are, and then where you are not will not be hungry you. It's good though, but it's bad sometimes. What are you doing about moving from where you are to where you want to be? That's the question. What are you currently doing about building from where you are to living the life you want to live? You should be someone that would say, okay, I'm not where I am, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but at least not I'm actively doing something about where I want to be financially, especially. That's what we're talking about. So you can build equity from where you are. Start by putting a particular percentage aside every month and dedicate it to, in fact, lock that particular savings so that you will not say, rainy days has come. Oh. I'm not saying you should divide your salary into half. If you can, fine. But you can bring out 20%, 30% of your salary or 30% of how much you earn every month and then put it into a particular account and save that money up for something you want to invest in. That way you can build capital. So this is something I shared with them on Instagram. I'm like, no, I have to share this on YouTube. And I want to actually get your suggestion. What do you think? Should we continue doing our morning? Should we continue doing our evening live sessions by 8 p.m. or should we just go ahead with this 10 a.m.? Which one is more favorable, more interesting, and more comfortable for each and every one of us watching right now? I want to hear from you. Okay, hearing some What is this person saying? Oh, this is not a love site. This is not a love site. I am here to teach real estate. So please, if you need if you need a wife to marry, please go and maybe download one of those love apps and you find a wife. Good luck on that, right? So please enjoy an amazing weekend. Enjoy an amazing weekend. And I hope you're able to do real estate the right way. And yes, by the way, my book is coming out, Buying Real Estate the Right Way. It's gonna blow your mind because there are a lot of things in that book that experience taught me and I thought to share it with you. So if you're looking at buying real estate in Nigeria or in Abuja and you're looking at someone who understands how this market works and you want to work with this person, when this book comes out, don't forget to download this book. Don't forget to read this book. It's going to open your eyes, especially if you're looking at the Abuja real estate market. Abuja real estate market is so interesting and so like so interesting. It's deep, but it's so interesting if you understand it, and you're going to make a lot of money from it if you really understand how it works. So I wish you good luck this weekend. Enjoy an amazing weekend. Don't forget to take some time to rest. Listen to your body when it needs to rest so you don't break down. Okay, this is me sending you all the love, all the kisses, all the hugs if you need one, and then have an amazing weekend. Enjoy an amazing day. Bye.